What I want to cover today is troubleshooting your Wink connection. So if you remember in the last video, we set up Wink, we connected to it, we had all of our entities showing up, and today when I log in, this is what I get. So you see none of my entities are showing up. They're all there and the references are all there, but they're just not showing up. So essentially what you're going to do here is jump over to notifications and see if there's anything that points out what might be wrong. This doesn't ever happen, so I can just give you a little clue here. What happened is I deleted the app that we set up in the Wink Developer Center, and I need to just reestablish that connection since it had all of my personal information. I wanted to make sure that none of you guys could control my house. So if I click on this, it just brings me back to the Wink config. Doesn't really help. So what I'm going to do is we need to delete a configuration file. So in order to do that, you need access to the computer, whether this is on a Windows virtual machine or most likely a Raspberry Pi. You need access to that device to be able to delete a file that references the configuration. So what I'm going to recommend is you click here on Hasio, and you see I've got no add-ons installed. I've got an update available. We're going to skip that for now. But if I jump over this add-on store, I can scroll down. There's something here called IDE, and it is right here. And essentially this is going to give us console, SSH, everything in one shot. So I'm just going to go ahead and install this. Here we go, and we see it's installed. Before you start any of these add-ons, you need to go down and check the configuration. So this configuration looks pretty straightforward. If you ever have questions, you can go to the actual install page at the top here, and this tells you all about it. But simply what I'm going to do, I'm familiar, so we're just going to scroll down here to the config section, and I'm not using SSL. I would highly suggest using SSL, but I'm not, since this is just a test install. So I'm going to save this, and essentially I'm just going to start this up. So that's it. It says open web UI, but I know better. I'm going to go check out the log and see what's happening. We can see it installing here, and actually I think it should be ready to start. So once we click open web UI, we're just going to log in with the same information we use on our to log into the Home Assistant. Anyway, here we go. So this is the IDE Cloud 9 workspace. So this is our terminal window. You can do some other stuff up here. Another terminal if you want. Close this one. There's just a lot of stuff you can do here. If you want to go into your config file, you can do that. See, the file we're looking for is .config.wink, and it happens to be a hidden file. Now, I don't know of a way. I haven't experimented with this too much, but what I'm going to do is just say, assume I cannot see hidden files, although I would be shocked if there wasn't a way to do that, but I think the easiest way is to just use terminal here. So I'm going to just do that. So essentially what you do is I'm going to change my directory, which is CD, to config, which is this same folder, and then I'm going to list ls all of my files in line format and human readable. So this is all of my files, including hidden ones, and you see right there this wink.config is the one we're looking for. So I want to delete that. So the command is rm for remove, and I'm just going to type .w and press tab, and it's going to fill it in for me. Hit enter, and that's it. Now if I retype the command, you can see it's gone, and I'm going to quit this, come back to Home Assistant, go to overview. Of course nothing's fixed, and the Wink config thing is still showing up there. So let's do this. Let's restart Home Assistant. So if you go to these developer tools at the bottom, this little remote looking thing, just for services, we can just do Home Assistant.restart is a service we can call, which is going to restart Home Assistant. So let's do that. Alright, looks like we restarted. So let's go back here and do a quick refresh. So I am not, oh, there it goes. I was going to say I'm not seeing the, let's do this. Alright, looks like our restart is good. I'm going to come over here to Overview. You can see here that in the notification area there's only one bubble so far, but if we just give it a minute, I think the other stuff will come in. So there we go. So it's saying it's discovered some new devices again, and we can go ahead and restart the configuration process. So that's it. Just follow the last video in setting this up, and it should be set up fine. So I'm going to pause for a second and do that, and we will come right back once it's configured again in the app. And there you go. We're all configured and back live and online. So there is adding our IDE component or add-on to Home Assistant and reconfiguring Wink. Thanks everyone, and have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe.